Giant barn houses, huge car garages, and a rivalry that extends beyond the football field, it seems that Travis Kelce and George Kittle are not satisfied by competing on the field only. So today, we decided to take matters into our own hands, and I've compared the two in everything, from simple things like how much the two of them are worth, to all the weird and one-of-a-kind things that they own. And believe me, the winner of this lifestyle battle managed to shock us all as well. So keep watching as we tell you exactly who won and why. Round 1. Residences. It shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that the houses owned by these twos are absolutely stacked. But even though both of their main residences are worthy of someone rich, the two have very different approaches to the kind of house they like. Let's start by discussing Kelce first, who quite famously owns a massive 10,000 square feet mansion located in a Kansas City neighborhood known as Briar Cliff West Community, which, if you don't know, is basically Kansas's own Beverly Hills. This house, first built in 1994, has undergone a ton of renovations, including a huge one in 2007, which gave the house a total of 7 bedrooms, a stunning lawn fit with a gazebo and a swimming pool, as well as a home gym and every other amenity you can imagine. As for the cost, this remarkable place set Kelce back a massive $995,000 when he signed for it in 2019. But as impressive as this thing is, Kittle's place is simply another beast. While Kelce, like most athletes, choose to live in a city mansion, Kittle has decided that the city is too small for his taste, so he bought himself a massive, state-of-the-art, 75-acre facility which he calls the barn talk about being on a show. The estate comes complete with multiple structures on the site, including his family houses, as well as a fully functioning NFL facility, which Kittle himself explains as being able to have an entire functioning NFL facility, from recovery to tubes to chef to massage therapist to physical therapist. It's been really fun for me. It's been a dream of mine to have the last couple of years, and it's finally come to fruition. To train daily with 8 to 12 NFL athletes, most of them tight ends, it's been really fun for me. Add to that a dedicated fully sized gym, a shockingly large on-site staff, and I think it's fair to say that this round has to go to Kittle and his barn. Round 2. Businesses. Now, while both of these athletes make most of their money from their contracts, as A-listers in their category, both of them have to have their hand in a lot of other pies. So, let's see how the two fare when it comes to comparing their business ventures. George Kittle, if you don't already know, has recently made history by snatching the biggest tight end contract in history, especially one for his age. But that doesn't stop him from pursuing other goals. For one thing, he is the founder of the Tight End University, a football camp dedicated to his position, the first of its kind, and with over 90 students, it seems to be going pretty well. Besides these, he has a decent investment portfolio too, including Zenni, an eyewear brand that launched a line dedicated to Kittle just a while ago. Besides these, the 29-year-old has endorsement deals with a ton of other brands, including Nike, Panda Express, Levi's, and even Adobe. That being said, as impressive as his investments and deals are, they're still not big as those of his competitor. Not only does Kelce work with the similarly high brands, his list is even longer than Kittle's, with names like McDonald's, Nike's, Dick's Sporting Goods, T-Mobile, Amazon, El Homa de Mansion, Hellsberg's Diamonds, and his longest running brand deal, the Midwest grocer, Hy-Vee. His portfolio is also large, as he has been an active investor in a ton of successful startups like Koala Hot Sauce, Players TV, Hydro, Koliak, and Indochino. He is also the founder of Helio Gummies, a healthy, clean, sleep gummy brand, has a personal shop called True Colors, and a personal cereal brand called Kelce Crunch. The dude even has his own reality TV show called Catching Kelce. So with all that in mind, I think we can safely award this category to Kelce. Round 3. Cars. One of the most prominent status symbols that anyone can own, but one that athletes are particularly fond of, are their cars. And as expected, both of these legends have their own garages with a couple exceptional cars. Kelce has a more standard collection. Not only does the tight end star own a decent share of SUVs for his daily uses, he is a proud owner of a rare mini hardtop, a small and beautiful car worth around $24,000. And on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, he also owns a Aston Martin Vanquish, a gorgeous sports-oriented beast worth $300,000, which he is seen seen driving on special occasions. Kittle has basically having the opposite taste, one based on tradition and hard work, as his crown jewel is the 1969 Mustang, which is not only in great condition, but is something that he restored on his own. And sure, it's not the rarest Mustang. With a fully restored V8 capable of producing almost 500 horsepower and a chassis that is straight from a car magazine cover, it is really hard to beat. That being said, I think we gotta give this round to Kelce as well, simply because not only he has a more variety in his collection, but his cars are just a little bit more rarer and a little bit more special than Kittle's Mustang. Round 4. Other spending. Continuing with our comparison of cars, houses, and investments, they're not the only things that rich folks like Kittle and Kelce like to spend their money on. So in the second last round, let's talk about their extra spending habits. Now, it should not be no surprise that people with as much money as these guys are going to develop some unhealthy spending habits. However, in a recent interview, Travis explained that he got a little too deep in that lifestyle, spending a huge part of his rookie contract on random stuff. As for what stuff this was, it shouldn't be too hard of a guess. You see, like many of his peers, Kelce is a huge fan of sneakers and shoes, from Nike's self-lacing magnetic shoes to multiple Rolexes and everything in between. The footballer sure knows how to spend his money. That being said, watches and shoes can only take you so far. When you see Kittle's expenses, you see, Mustangs are not the only thing the young player likes to build for himself. The man decided that he wanted to build his very own golf course in his home, full-range proper golf that he still plays to this day. And while no one really knows how much that would have cost, I think we can all agree that it was nothing to scoff at. And that is not all, since Kittle, like other major athletes, also likes to spend money in maintaining his health and fitness, which for someone that lives an entire life depending on his body, it makes sense. And how much does he spend on these things a year? Well, according to the man himself, he can easily spend, quote, a couple $100,000 on things like nutrition, recovery, training, and everything else to keep them going. So with those things in mind, while Kelce sneakers are without a doubt expensive, I think Kittle deserves this round. Number 5. Net worth. Now, with 2 rounds won by each athlete, there is only one thing left to compare, that being their overall net worth. So let's start by talking about Kelce first. As a 2-time Super Bowl winner and one of the most celebrated veterans of his line, there are a very few people who can compare with Kelce's pedigree. And with over 11 years in the NFL, all of which he has spent with the Chiefs, he has managed to rack up a pretty helly salary too, reportedly making $14 million this year alone. So what does that amount to? Well, according to most estimates, that puts Kelce's net worth in the vicinity of around $25 million. Damn! But before you get too impressed, let's now turn our attention to his fellow tight end legend, George Kittle. You see, while Kelce has a few more years of experience with his fresher take on his position and exceptional athleticism, Kittle has not only managed to outrank Kelce, he has also become the richest and most sought-after tight end in football history. Just over 2 years ago, he signed a massive $75 million 5-year contract with the 49ers, the largest amount for a contract of this sort of tight end ever paid. And that, combined with his growing brand deals, he has been given a net worth of over $50 million as of 2023. And with that, we must declare George Kittle the winner of this lifestyle war. Click on one of the other videos on your screen right now.